Bonjour, and today we're Rog ranting about the three greatest liars in modern world today. Starting off with number 3, mainstream media. Mainstream media is easily one of the biggest liars that we have. Rarely do they ever tell the truth about anything. Everything seems to be based around partisan opinion and propaganda. Whether it be Building 7 in the Twin Towers terrorist attack, still standing, and the BBC showing a live footage of it actually behind them, saying it's collapsed when it hasn't, because they knew in advance what was going to happen, but they did nothing about it. To them, of course, telling us that we're all toxic, poisonous people. If we go outside, we're all going to die horribly and kill millions of people because we're all infectious, which of course is a lie as well, which is rather good. Yeah, I mean, mainstream media is one of the least trustworthy sources there is in the world, and how can you believe what they say? They never tell the truth, and they're happy that they don't do it, and they're allowed to continue to do it, despite how many times they get caught falsifying things purposely to sway public opinion to suit their employers. They're still allowed to carry on. So that's rather interesting. Number 2, businesses, corporations, they're the second biggest liars that we have. Just look at any television advert. For how many decades now have washing powders been brighter than they've ever been before? Every year they're brighter than they've ever been before. We should be actually medically blind now whenever we use this stuff and take anything white out of the washing machine. It should be, oh no, it's so bright, I can't see anymore. It's complete crap, especially when you actually look into what goes into washing powder. There's only about 4 or 5 ingredients, and the only difference between washing powder A and washing powder B is simply the amount of each one that's in it. And they all tend to be made in the same factories. And again, I mean, more lies spread by businesses. Look at food labelling, yeah? In the UK, people who produce food, especially the stuff that you get in boxes and tins and stuff, the stuff that isn't fresh, they're not actually obliged to list everything that's in it, only certain things. And so vast swathes of it are missing. And they put things on purposely misleading, like 30% less fat. Than what? Again, it's just more deception, more lies. And the labelling they put on with things like calorie numbers, and this sort of fictional rubbish. And people say, oh, I bought this because it's got less calories than the other version. Oh, yeah, all great. And how do you know that? Because the people who are selling it to you, the marketing company who created the box, created the wrapper on the can, tell you that it is. No evidence. And if you investigate it, you'll invariably find that it's not true. And exactly, more lies. One example, I will give you an example. In this country, a company called Birdseye, who make lots of frozen food, were found guilty of having horse meat, large quantities of horse meat and pork in the beef burgers. On more than one occasion. Same as it was in many times now, that McDonald's have been found guilty of having human meat in their burgers, because they've got there's a plant in France that produces pretty much all of their stuff, and for quite a lot of the frozen food places as well, they were using human meat, and they're still open, they're still trading, and it's been more than one occasion that's happened. And yet they don't say that. They know what goes into it, but they don't say it. Yeah? They just lie to us all the time. Adverts are classic lies. According to an advert, if you want to lose weight and get fit, the best way to do it is to spend money at a business premises. Yeah? Not to think to yourself, what's the best way I could get fit? Oh. But to think, no, but to invest in a business. A business will make you fit. A business will make you healthy. A business will make your hair look great. A business will improve your chances of being fertile. Anything to do with spending money, and again, it's this, and it's a lie. You can get fit without having to spend money. That's what the natural world's for. It's full of different things you can do. You can climb trees, you can go for a walk, you can wrestle a bear. I mean, it's ridiculous. But again, the lies, the deception. You have to spend money, give money to a business in order to achieve. It's a complete lie, and that's, again, they just lie all the time. Another one that I said to somebody, which caused a bit of a ruckus, a bit of a verbal ruckus, but it is a valid point. Going back to food labelling, is halal. People say, "Oh, I bought this because it's halal." How do you know it's halal? Because you've got a sticker on it put on by a marketing company who are selling you a product. I mean, it's ridiculous. Have anybody actually looked into how these certifications are actually maintained, how they're achieved? Do they actually check every single facility that these companies get their meat from? Or do they only check one? And is it only one that has the appropriate things in place? Again, it's just lies. It's just more lies. And they're doing it all the time. I mean, there were a couple of supermarkets in this country who were found guilty of labelling pesticide-ridden fruit and vegetables as organic. Again, more lies. Now we get to the number one. The biggest liars in the world today. Oh, I think somebody may have said it. Sonny May said it. Yes. Politicians. Yes. Politicians couldn't tell the truth in a million years. They wouldn't know what the truth was if it stood in front of them waving a sign saying, "Hello guys, I'm the truth. Try me for size." They ain't got a clue. They're entirely manipulated. They're entirely self-serving. They're money grabbing. They've always got their hand in the public purse, taking our taxes to line their own pockets with. They're always in the pursuit of personal power. And as soon as they get into government, they've got no interest in the constituency they represent. They're just people who keep them on the public gravy train. They don't care about them. There's nothing for them. Because once they're in that network, they're just a puppet themselves. And they just lie all the time. That's why they never give straight answers. Most people's parents will tell them that liars never give straight answers. Another thing you'll notice, which ties into mainstream media as well as politicians, is that liars never give balance when they talk about something. They only ever talk about it from one perspective. And if you look at mainstream news, for example, you only ever see one perspective for every story. And isn't it interesting how that all the television channels seem to share the same perspective? There's never balance. Yeah? If there's a disease going around killing millions of people, they're only interested in how many people die. They don't give a toss about how many people survive. There's no balance. If there's no balance, how can it be true? Because if you were a reporter, or if you understood the subject, you would know the balance. You would know the good points and the bad points, and you put them both forwards, especially in a democratic system. But politicians don't, do they? They can't give yes or no answers, and they go to a particular place where they are literally trained not to tell the truth, to avoid direct answers at all costs. I mean, exactly. Now, obviously, you've got some ideas of your own, which is excellent. I want you to pop in the old comments, if you don't mind, your top 3 greatest liars in the world today. It should be exciting. And don't forget, this isn't reality. It's YouTube.